Okay, from here we start with the text after line 220. So, forthwith upright he rears from off the pool his mighty stature. So, his mighty stature here it refers to the physique, the stature of Saturn. On each land the flames driven backward slope, their pointing spears and rolled in billows leave in the midst of horrid wail, then with expanded wings he steers his flight. So what happened? Saturn tried to rise up from the pool. From the which pool? This is the pool of hell, where it's a sharp contrast. Milton calls it pool, and it is the pool of hell, which is an ever-burning lake of hell. His mighty stature, as we discussed through some similes also, that the physique of the Saturn was great. He had a huge physique. बहुत बड़ा उसका जिस्म था. On each land, like some sea beast, किसी बहुत बड़े giant या beast की तरह से. On each land, the flames and that lake, the fire in the lake of hell, it was driven. Those flames of fire, they were driven backward in the slope, and what happened in their pointing spears, those flames, and they were driven backwards and rolled in below, and they were rolled back, and what they left in the midst a horrid veil, and they left in the middle a horrible ditch. Then with expanded wings he steers his flight aloft, incumbent on the dusky air. So what he did, then he expanded his wings, he spread his wings, and through his wings he came to the shore. He came to the shore of the lake of hell. Incumbent is he rested his height on the dusky air that felt unusual weight. Now the stature, the physique of Saturn was so great, it was so huge, till on dry land that even the dusky air of the sad air of the hell, it also felt unusual weight because of the great stature because of the grand stature of the grand physique of Saturn. Till on dry land. So he reached the dry land. He lights if it were land that ever burned with solid as the lake with liquid fire. Now he came on the dry land, and the dry land it burned with the solid fire, and in the lake where he was lying earlier, it burnt with the liquid fire. So there was fire all over. Now he has come from lake to the ground, to the dry land. On this dry land there is solid fire, and in the lake there was liquid fire. And such appeared in hue. Hue is the color, the shade. So its color was as when the force. And now he is going to describe the color, that there are two types of burning fire in the lake of hell, that one is in the lake and the other is on the dry land. In the lake of hell it is liquid fire, and on the dry land it is the solid fire. As when the force of subterranean wind transports a hill torn from Pelorus, or the shattered side of thundering Athena, whose combustible and fueled entrails then conceiving fire. So what happened? Subterranean is the underground wind that transports a hill torn from Pelorus. Pelorus is the Cape Pharaoh, it is the place, or the shattered side or the torn side of thundering Athena. Athena is the name of the place, whose combustible and fueled entrails. Entrail is the bowels, the combustible ever burning, which burns every time. So dense conceiving fire, sublimed with mineral fury, aid the winds. So what happens? The wind, he went to that place in such a manner that as if the underground wind, it sends the torn Pelorus and the thunder of the Athena into the combustion fuel, and it conceives that fire, and in the mineral fury, the force generated in the earth that helps the wind. Now The wind helps the fire to increase, since it contains oxygen, so it helps it to get stirred up, to get aroused, and leave a signed bottom all involved. So what happened at the bottom? It leaves with stench and smoke. There is it is all burnt and it is all smoky at the bottom. It is left all smoky and burnt at the bottom. Such resting found the soul of unblessed feet. Unblessed feet, here it is a reference to the unblessed feet, the feet of Satan. Unblessed is somebody who has been expelled from heaven, who is unblessed, who is not blessed. So here it refers to Satan. So Satan's feet, he rested his feet on the ground in such a condition. Him followed his next mate. His next mate is Beelzebub, and he was followed by his mate Beelzebub, both glorifying to have escaped the Stygian food as gods, and by their own recovered strength, not by the sufferance of supernal power. So here it says that they were happy, they felt glorified that they had come out of that fiery lake of hell without as if they had recovered from that without the help, without the permission of the Almighty, on their own, on believing or relying on their own strength. उनको ऐसा लग रहा है, वो इस कदर उनको खुशी हो रही है उन फायरी लेक से निकल के और वो इस चीज़ को एडमिट नहीं कर रहे हैं कि उन्हें ऑलमाइटी की तरफ से परमिशन दी गई थी, तो इसलिए ये उस फायरी लेक से बाहर लैंड पर आ सके हैं. वो ये सोच रहे हैं कि हम अपनी हैसियत, अपनी ताकत के बलबूते पर जो हैं वहाँ से बाहर आए हैं, एंड दे आर फीलिंग प्राउड, दे आर फीलिंग ग्लोरीफाइड अबाउट इट. वो उस पर बहुत खुश हो रहे हैं. Is this the region, this the soil, the clime? Said then the lost archangel, this the seed that we must change for heaven, this mournful gloom for that celestial light, be it so sincere. Now this is what did he say? Is this the region? Is this the clime, that this is the climate, this is the that they have replaced heaven for hell. They have been expelled from heaven, they have lost that heaven, and now they have entered hell. Now he is saying कि क्या ये जगह, ये क्लाइमेट थी, ये ज़मीन और ये मिट्टी थी जिसकी वजह से हमने हेवन को रिप्लेस किया. This the seat that we must change for heaven, कि जिसको हमने हेवन के लिए चेंज किया. This mournful gloom for that celestial light. Now mournful gloom here is the mournful is matami, जिसमें sad sorrowful air है, जिसमें gloom है हर तरफ, जिसमें sadness है, despair है. और celestial light refers to the heavenly light, कि उनकी even जो अपनी brightness थी जब वो heaven में रह रहे थे वो भी ख़त्म हो चुकी है. Now he says that we have replaced, and what have we replaced? So basically these words are referring to, they represent their despair in a way, that they are saying that this is the place that we have replaced with heaven, and this mournful gloom, के जो surrounding है, जो air है वो भी इस कदर gloomy है, वो भी mournful है, जिसको हमने celestial light से replace किया है. Be it so, since he who now is sovereign can dispose and bid what shall be right, farthest from him is best. So he says that the sovereign, the almighty, who is all powerful, he has imposed this, and he has decided what shall be right. He is the one, he is all powerful, so he decides what is best. Farthest from his is best. It is better to stay away from him, because when they were living in heaven, it was said that God also lives in heaven. So he says that it is better to live away from God, whom reason hath equaled, force hath made supreme above his equals. Farewell, happy fields. Now here, whom reason hath equaled, that we possess equal reasoning, we are equally intelligent as him. Force hath made supreme above his equals. Now the only thing that makes him excel from us, जो कि हम उससे या उसको हमसे ज़्यादा पावर देती है, that is force. उसके पास हमसे ज़्यादा force है. Farewell happy fields. Now farewell happy fields, here happy fields is the heaven. He is bidding goodbye to heaven, where joy forever dwells, where joy lives everywhere, where every time there is happiness and joy. Hail horrors. He is addressing the hail horrors. Hail horrors. He is addressing the fire of hell. He is addressing the hell. Hail infernal world, and thou proudest hell, receive thy new professor, one who brings a mind not to be changed by place or time. He is addressing the hell. He says that, O infernal world. Now he says, O hell, you are the one who is the deepest of all. He is addressing the deepest pitch of the hell. He said, pit of the hell. He says that, receive thy new possessor. He says that, receive your new master. Now here possessor is somebody who owns something. So he says that, receive, welcome your master, welcome your new Lord, one who brings and whose idea or whose philosophy is that a mind not to be changed by place or time. That mind cannot be changed by place or time, or it does not matter कि आप वक्त और जगह जो है वो आपकी जो रेजोल्यूशन है, जो डिटर्मिनेशन है, उसको चेंज नहीं कर सकते. सो व्हाट इज द टाइम और द प्लेस वेयर यू सिट ऑन? इट इज योर माइंड दैट डिसाइड्स. The mind is its own place. The mind has its own place. इसकी अपनी ही इसकी एक अपनी ही दुनिया है. And in itself can make a heaven of hell or hell of heaven. Now, this is the extreme sense of reliance on one's own thinking. Now he says that, and these two lines, they are oft quoted for having the satisfied idea. जब भी लोग satisfaction को, gratitude को show करना चाहते हैं, जैसे कि ये मैटर नहीं करता कि आपके पास कितनी facilities हैं या आपको क्या क्या सहूलियात मुयसर हैं. लोग often ये जो example है इसको quote करते हैं कि the mind is its own place and in itself can make a heaven of hell or hell of heaven. So these lines basically represent the idea कि इससे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता कि क्या वक्त है और कहाँ पर हो, आप किस जगह पर हो, आपको क्या क्या सहूलियात मुयसर हैं या नहीं हैं. ये आपकी एक मेंटल सिचुएशन है, ये आपकी एक दिमागी कैफियत है. आप जन्नत में रहते हुए ज़िंदगी को जहन्नुम बना सकते हैं और जहन्नुम में रहते हुए ज़िंदगी को जन्नत बना सकते हैं. So this is these two lines, they have gained the epigrammatic value and they are often quoted, they are often used. Even people who are not familiar with literature, जो कि English literature को नहीं भी पढ़ते हैं, वो भी इन लाइन से familiar हैं. और अगर कभी उनको speech या debate का अगर कोई कुछ लोगों को शौक हो तो वो तो अक्सर इसको quote भी करते हैं कि टाइम और वक्त से फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. ये आपकी दिमागी कैफियत है, आपकी जहनी कैफियत है कि आप कम सहूलियात, कम फैसिलिटीज़ मैसर होते हुए भी आप बहुत अच्छी ज़िंदगी गुजार सकते हैं. और अगर आपके पास सारा कुछ मैसर हो, आप फिर भी हर वक्त कंप्लेन करते रहें, तो आप एक जो खूबसूरत ज़िंदगी है उसको भी जहन्नुम बना सकते हैं. What matter where if I be still the same? So it says that what matters कि सिर्फ फ़र्क ये पड़ता है कि if I have not changed, and with I have not changed he is referring to the mind, he is referring to his resolution कि अगर मेरी determination में कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ा है तो and what I should be कि मुझे क्या करना है, but all but less than he whom thunder hath made greater. Now in these lines he says that it matters not कि मैं क्या वक्त है और इस वक्त में कहाँ पर हूँ. All that matters that my determination is same, my resolution, my determination to take revenge, that has not changed a bit. And he says that only the difference is that less than he whom thunder had, he says that I am equivalent to him, the Almighty. He says that हर लिहाज से मैं उसके बराबर हूँ. सिर्फ जो एक फर्क है वो क्या है, वो थंडर का है कि he possesses greater wrath than me. तो वो कह रहे हैं कि एक रॉथ, एक थंडर का फर्क है कि जिसमें मेरा और उसका मुकाबला नहीं किया जा सकता, या ये एक ओनली एस्पेक्ट है जहां पर जो है वो ऑलमाइटी से आई एम इंफीरियर टू हिम. अदरवाइज ही इज द मास्टर ऑफ हेवन एंड आई एम द मास्टर ऑफ hell, and I possess equal intelligence, equal wisdom, and I am no less than him other than possessing a little lesser thunder than him. Here at least we shall be free. He says that here refers to the hell. The Almighty hath not built here for his envy will not drive us hence. He says that since God has not created anything in this hell, so he will not drive us of this place. क्योंकि अल्लाह ताला ने जहन्नुम में कोई चीज़ नहीं बनाई है, इसलिए वो हमें यहाँ से नहीं निकालेगा, यहाँ पर उसका ऑर्डर फॉलो नहीं होगा. सो ही इज नाउ ही सेज दैट दिस इज द प्लेस दैट वी विल बी फ्री टू आई विल बी फ्री टू फॉलो द लाइफ, आई विल बी फ्री टू स्पेंड द टाइम एज आई विश, कि मैं अपनी मर्जी से जिंदगी गुजार सकता हूँ. यहाँ पर कोई मुझे निकल जाने के लिए नहीं कहेगा, मुझे यहाँ से एक्सपेल नहीं किया जाएगा, क्योंकि ऑलमाइटी ने यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं बनाया है कि एनवीएस के लिए, जेलसी के लिए यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं बना है. ऑल दोज थिंग्स आर प्रेजेंट इन हेवन फ्रॉम वेयर वी हैव बीन एक्सपेल्ड. हियर वी मे reign secure, and in my choice to reign is worth ambition though in hell. Now once again, here we may reign secure, so we will have a very safe, free from anxiety, and we will have a very safe reign here, that I'll be the master. And he says that I will be the master and I can have a safe reign here. मेरी अपनी एक हुकूमत होगी, एक सल्तनत होगी. And he says that in my choice, because he wanted to reign, क्योंकि वो चाहता था कि उसका हुक्म माना जाए, उसका हुक्म चले. So he says that in my choice, कि उसके ख्याल के मुताबिक to reign. Now once again, these two lines, they have got the epigrammatic value. First let me read the two lines. To reign is worth ambition though in hell, better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. Now these two lines, they are important. It's basically people who do not want to follow the orders of others, who want to do who want to have their own laws, their own rules, they often like these lines. And once again, these two lines are quoted in debates and speeches and sometimes in ordinary life also. And it says that to reign is a worth ambition though in hell. He says that in Satan's choice, it is worth a desire to reign. He says that no matter where you reign, whether it's heaven or hell, it matters not. The worth ambition is to reign. So the only ambition that is worth of something, that is to reign, and better to reign in hell. He says that it is better to reign in hell, to be the leader, to be the commandant of hell, than serve in heaven, because when they were in heaven, they served God. They had to follow his orders. So he says that it is better to reign in hell, because when you reign, you do not follow the orders of somebody else. You have your own orders, you have your own laws. आप अपने आपका हुक्म बाकियों पर चलता है, कोई आपके ऊपर हुक्म नहीं चलाता. So Satan had that ambition to rule. वो rule करना चाहता था. So that is the reason he says that the worth ambition is to reign. And no matter where you reign, whether that is heaven or hell, it does not matter, because he has earlier said that mind is its own place and it can make a heaven of hell or hell of heaven. So he has mentioned कि इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि आप जन्नत में हो या जहन्नुम में हो. आपकी ये एक जहनी कैफियत है, आपका दिमाग जो है वो आपको सपोर्ट करता है. अगर आप डिटरमिन्ड हो, रेजोल्यूट हो, आपकी डिटर्मिनेशन चेंज नहीं हुई है, it matters not कि आप कहाँ पर हो. Then he says that it is better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven. He did not want to be a servant, he did not want to serve anyone. वो subordinate या सर्व नहीं करना चाहता था. वो जो सर्व वाली characteristics हैं वो उसमें नहीं थी. He had those qualities, and this is the reason that in certain speeches we find the heroic qualities. एक leader की qualities हैं कि वो rule करना चाहता है. So all these lines that have gained the epigrammatic value, they reflect his qualities of leadership. वो lead करना चाहता है. But wherefore let we then our faithful friends, the associates and co-partners of our laws. Now he says that let our faithful friends, now these faithful friends and associates and co-partners, this is a reference to his followers, the rebel angels, the rest of them who were there with him, lie thus astonished on the oblivious fool, and call them not to share with us their part in this unhappy mansion, and once more with rallied arms to try what may be yet regained in heaven, or what more lost in hell. He calls them, he says that they should not be lying there in that pitch, they should not be lying there burning in that lake of fire. He says that we should not leave them surprised in that unconscious condition in the pool of in the lake of hell. He says that we should call them. Now he summons them, he gives a suggestion that we should call them. He is addressing Beelzebub, and he says that we should call them not to share. That why should not we call them to share that part of the land that they owned, because Satan had just moved from the fiery lake of hell to the dry part, and he says that I should call them to this part to share in this unhappy mansion. Unhappy mansion is once again hell, or once more with rallied arms. Rallied arms, he tries to assemble to try to what may be yet regained in heaven, because he wanted to regain heaven, or what more lost in hell, that even when they were living in heaven, or they in the assembled arms, or whatever they have lost in hell, so in every condition they were friends, they were associates. So he says that I will not leave them behind now. It is better, he suggests an idea, he gives an idea that we should call them now at this place to share this part of the land on which they were present, which was the dry land. So Satan spake, and him Beelzebub thus answered. So this was Satan's third speech. He was speaking to Beelzebub, and he proposed the idea that they should call their other friends, they should call their partners of heaven and hell both, because they were living together in heaven. Now when they have been expelled from heaven, once again in the misery of suffering from this torment, everlasting torment of hell, once again they are together. Now Beelzebub is addressing Satan, and he says that leader of those armies bright, which but the omnipotent none could have failed, if once they hear that voice, their liveliest pledge of hope in fears and dangers heard so oft. Now what did he say? He said the leader of those bright armies. Why he is calling bright armies? Because they were once angels, now they are rebels, and they have been thrown down to the hell. कभी वो angels थे, इसलिए वो उनको bright armies कह रहा है, and armies with capital A, since they were angels, with which but the omnipotent none could have failed. Now he says that you are the leader of angels, you are the leader of fallen angels, and omnipotent is the God, somebody who is all powerful, somebody who is present everywhere. Nobody could have failed you. You are the leader of the angels, of the fallen angels. Nobody could ever have defeated you. He says that nobody could have ever defeated you other than God. It was God who defeated you. Other than that, nobody else could ever defeat you. If once they hear that voice, if they hear your voice once, their liveliest pledge, their promise of hope in fears and dangers heard so oft, that they had heard this voice, or they had heard this promise in the hope of fear and danger, and they had heard it often in worst extremes and on the perilous edge. Edge is the dangerous, even in the dangerous situations of battle, when it raged in all assaults. Assaults is the every kind of attack. Their surest signal, they will soon resume, they will start again, they will continue again. Now new courage and revive, though now they lie groveling and prostrate on yon lake of fire. Now he says that they are lying in the worst condition. They are when they will hear your voice, even when they were in battle, or when they were in anger, or even in the worst attacks, their surest signal. What signal? This signal of the voice, that they have been called by you, the leader, the Satan, that they have been called by you, Satan, their leader. They will soon resume, they will start again, they will continue, they will come. New courage and revive. They will resume with what? Their courage will be revived, no matter they are lying. And he says that they are lying on that lake of fire, growling with pain. They are meek, and they are lying in the flat position because of being because of the misery of hell, because they are burnt in the fiery lake of hell. तो उस सारे की वजह से what is the condition? They are lying growling and flat on the plain of fiery lake of hell. When they will hear your voice, the voice of their leader, the voice of Satan, their courage will be revived, their courage will be renewed. As we erstwhile astounded and amazed, no wonder, he says that formerly we are stunned, we are surprised at this destruction. No wonder, fallen such a pernicious height, that having been fallen from that destructive height, since they have fallen from heaven, इस हाइट से वो वहाँ पर गिरे हैं कि दे आर अमेज्ड, दे आर सरप्राइज्ड, और उस अमेजमेंट में दे आर लाइंग ग्राउलिंग, वो उसकी जो पेन है, मिजरी है, अभी तक उसको ओवरकम नहीं कर पाए हैं. दे आर लाइंग अनकॉन्शियस इन द फायर ऑफ हेल. ही scarce had ceased, but the superior fiend was moving toward the shore, his ponderous shield, ethereal temper, massy, large and ground. Now when he had finished with his words, he had hardly stopped saying all these things. The superior friend once again, who is superior? Satan and Beelzebub, they were talking there, they were present at that dry land, and superior of these two is Satan, and Beelzebub is his second in command. Was moving towards the shore. He was moving towards the shore of that fiery lake of hell. Satan was wearing a shield which was huge, which was very big, and it was ethereal. Ethereal is from heavenly body, so it was prepared in the heaven, it was made in the heaven. It was massy, large and round. It was very big. And now this makes us the number of adjectives that have been used, and after this Milton is going to use a simile also to make the readers understand the size and the stature of this great size of the shield of Saturn. That Saturn was wearing. Already we have come to know about his size, the stature, that he had a huge bulky body, he was too big, and he has wings also, and he was wearing, on that huge body he was wearing what? A heavenly shield which was very big. It was of massive size, it was large, and it was round. Behind him cast, it was lying behind him, the broad circumference, and the circumference is the area of the shield. Since it was large, so the area, the circumference of the of the shield hung on his shoulders like the moon, whose orb through optic glass the Tuscan artist views at evening from the top of Fiesole, or in Volturno describe new lands, rivers and mountains in her spotty globe. So what happened here? He is giving the simile. He says that it appeared like the moon, and as if जिसका जो orb है, it appeared through the optic glass. Here it is a reference to the telescope of Galileo. Tuscan artist is the reference to Galileo, और optic glass is the telescope के जिसका ऑर्ब जो है वो ऑप्टिक ग्लास है, उस टेलीस्कोप गैलीलियो का जो टेलीस्कोप है उससे इस तरह का दिखता था. एट इवनिंग फ्रॉम द टॉप ऑफ फिसोल, इन टॉप ऑफ फिसोल इट इज अ हिल नियर फ्लोरेंस, दैट Saturn was carrying that huge shield on his shoulders, and it appeared like the moon, जिसका ऑर्ब जो है वो जिसका स्फीयर जो है, जिसका डायमीटर जो है बिल्कुल इसी तरीके से लगता था जैसा कि एक गैलीलियो अपनी टेलीस्कोप से इवनिंग के टाइम एक किसी फिसोल जो फ्लोरेंस के करीब जो हिल है, फिसोल से अगर वो या फिर वल्डर्नो से जो है वो न्यू लैंड्स को, रिवर्स को और माउंटेन से अगर वो उस पहाड़ी के ऊपर चढ़ के, उस हिल के ऊपर चढ़ के उनको देखने की कोशिश करें. इन हर स्पॉटी ग्लोब उनको डिस्कवर करने की कोशिश करे कि न्यू एरियाज जो हैं, सो दैट ही कुड डिस्कवर न्यू एरियाज. सो दिस सिमिली इज comparing the shield of Saturn, the huge size of Saturn with the orb of the moon. और इसमें उसने एक गैलीलियो की टेलीस्कोप का भी रेफरेंस यूज़ किया है. दैट वाज समथिंग करंट एट दैट टाइम, कि उस वक्त उसका रेफरेंस भी यूज़ किया है. उसके अलावा एंड उसके साथ साथ के उसके थ्रू किसी पहाड़ी पर चढ़ के या किसी वैली में जाकर जो है वो न्यू लैंड्स की तलाश की जाए या माउंटेन्स और रिवर्स को उसकी मदद से देखा जाए. His spear to equal which the tallest pine hewn on Norwegian hills to be the mast of some great emerald flag were but a wand he walked with to support uneasy steps. Emerald flag is the ship. He was carrying a spear also, and with the help of his spear, he to equal what type of spear he had? It was the tallest pine. Now pine trees are very tall. अब उसके पास जो spear पकड़ा हुआ था, जिसके पास नेजा पकड़ा हुआ था, वो इस कदर लंबा था जितना कि कोई tallest pine tree हो. अब pine trees are already tall, तो वो इस कदर लंबा था कि जो लंबा तरीन पाइन ट्री होगा उसके बराबर उसका नेजा होगा. ह्यून इन नॉर्वेजियन हिल्स, इट वाज कट डाउन इन द नॉर्वेजियन हिल्स, के नॉर्वेजियन जो हिल्स हैं उसमें बहुत लंबे जो हैं वो पाइन ट्रीज पाए जाते हैं. टू बी द मास्ट ऑफ सम ग्रेट एमरल्ड फ्लैग, एंड दिस स्पीयर वाज फिट फॉर अ ह्यूज मास्ट ऑफ द शिप, कि किसी बहुत बड़े शिप का अगर मास्ट बनाना हो तो उसके लिए ये स्पीयर जो है इसका साइज इस कदर बड़ा था कि एक बहुत बड़े शिप का मास्ट बनाने के लिए ये बिल्कुल फिट था. वर बट अ वैंड इज अ स्टिक ही वॉक्ड विद टू सपोर्ट uneasy steps. So we had the description of his spear, and once again that was with the help of description that it was like the tallest pine. It was fit for some emerald flag, but it was a stick, and he walked with the help of that spear with uneasy steps, because he was walking on the fiery hell, जहाँ के हर तरफ जो है वो everlasting fire जो है वो that was continuous, that was burning. Over the burning marl is the soil. So he was walking, taking the uneasy steps. वो बहुत uneasy step लेते हुए उस जलती हुई मट्टी के ऊपर चलने की कोशिश कर रहा था with the help of his spear. Not like those steps on heaven azure. Azure is the blueness. Now blue is the color of sea, smoothness. तो वो उसको represent कर रहा है. Now he is saying that it was very different. अब यहाँ पर जिस तरह के उसके steps थे, they were very different from the steps that he used to take in the heaven. Heaven में जो steps थे, they were on the and the horrid climb smote on him sore besides vaulted with fire. Now these steps, the way he walked on the floors, on the azure is blue and probably it refers to the color of tiles, और वो जो उसका transparent और जो बहुत खूबसूरत जो फर्श था हेवन का, वहाँ पर जिस तरीके से सैटर्न चलता था, वहाँ से ही इज मेकिंग अ कंपैरिजन कि इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट. हेवन में जिस तरह से चलता था बिल्कुल उस तरह से नहीं है, क्योंकि अब उस एक तो वो हेल में है और उसकी ज़मीन हर तरफ से जल रही है और मट्टी ज़मीन हर चीज़ वहाँ पर जल रही है. और बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ही इज़ taking uneasy steps by taking help of his spear. वो अपने नेज़े की मदद से वहाँ पर स्टेप लेकर चल रहा है. And the torrid climb. Torrid is the extremely hot. The atmosphere, the climate is extremely hot. Smote on him sore besides. Smote is the afflicted. It has been inflicted on him. It has been imposed on him. It is excessive hot, it is excessively burning, vaulted with higher. Vaulted is the arch, that everywhere fire is there, on the ground, on the bottom, in the air, from the upper side, everywhere there is fire. Nathless he so endured. Nathless is nevertheless, he endured, he had to bear it, because he had to live in that eternally. He had to bear that misery of burning in that lake of hell till the end. Till on the beach of that inflamed sea he stood and called. So till the time that he reached the beach, he reached the shore of that inflamed sea. Inflamed sea, again hell. We are having the description of hell by the use of different adjectival phrases. हमें बहुत सारे different उसने adjectives use कर करके बताया है कि क्या condition थी hell की. अब उसको inflamed sea कह रहा है, ऐसा sea कि जिसमें हर तरफ आग जल रही है, हर तरफ वो जल रहा है. He stood and called. He stood there on the shore of that inflamed sea, on the shore of hell, and he called. Now whom he called? Because he suggested earlier that we better call the rest of the fellows and companions and the associates who were living there with living there in heaven with us, and now they have joined us in this misery also. We should call all of them to this dry land instead of letting them burn in the fiery lake of hell. His legions, angel forms, who lay in transit, thick as autumnal leaves that straw the brooks. In Vallombrosa, where the Etrurian shades high overarched Imbaro, or scattered sedge afloat when with fierce winds Orion armed. Now he has started addressing his followers, the rest of the fallen angels, his legions, angel forms. So they were angel forms, they were his followers. Angel forms, they were once angels who lay in transit. They had been stupefied, they have come down from that, they have lost that celestial light, they have been thrown down, they have been expelled from heaven. In transit thick, अब वो किस तरीके से वहाँ पर पड़े हुए हैं? As autumnal leaves. Now again the use of simile is there, and we have the extended similes in this, because since this is an epic, so Milton has very carefully followed the epic conventions, and we have a number of epic similes, extended similes in this poem. Now the fallen angels, they are spread as if the autumn leaves that cover the Vallombrosa, where the Etrurian shades high overraised Embaro. So what happened, that covers those fallen angels, they cover the land of the hell, the way the autumn leaves cover the place, they cover all the fields around, and they are scattered such afloat when with fierce winds Orion armed. So he makes the first comparison with the autumn leaves. खज़ां में तो बहुत बेशुमार पत्ते गिरते हैं, तो वो उसकी एग्जांपल दे रहे हैं कि जिस तरीके से ऑटम में लीव्स गिरते हैं, इन दिस सिमिलर वे दी फॉलन एंजल्स आर लाइंग ऑन दी इन द लेक ऑफ हेल, इन द फायरी लेक ऑफ हेल, और दे आर लाइंग लाइक दी स्कैटर्ड सेज, वो एक स्कैटर्ड सेज की तरह से वहां पर पड़े हुए हैं, ऑल फ्लोटिंग ऑन द surface, when with fierce winds Orion armed, as if they are armed with belt and sword also. Hath vexed the Red Sea coast, whose waves overthrew Busiris and his Memphian chivalry, while with perfidious hatred they pursued. Now what happened, they were vexed, they were agitated by the, as if this scattered sedge was agitated by the Red Sea, by the coast of the Red Sea, whose waves overthrew the king of Egypt. Now here it is a reference to the Egyptian king. Their legendary king was Pharaoh, and he was thrown out by the Red Sea on the coast, and his Memphian chivalry and his chivalry. Now definitely when you are made a mummy by the sea, by the waves of the sea, and they throw you back on this, so he says that chivalry, while with it carries chivalry because you are wearing the belt and sword, लेकिन वो chivalric qualities जो हैं उसके लिए एक shame है कि you are wearing the belt and sword, और उसके बाद आप जो है फिरौन की तरह जो है आपको लहरों नहीं सिर्फ जो है वो गर्क कर दिया है. While with perfidious hatred they pursued. Perfidious is the treacherous. They were clever. They with that hatred they pursued the sojourners of Goshen, who beheld from the safe shore their floating carcasses. Now what happened, those Goshen is the reference to Bani Israel, के बनी इसराइल के जो लोग थे उन्होंने उसको उसमें गर्क होते देखा, और उसके बाद they were safe, वो क्योंकि खुशकी पर पहुंच चुके थे. Now this is the simile that Milton has used here. Even Muslims believe in that, and we have this incident told in the Holy Book also, in Quran also. So they reached these Bani Israel, the people of Bani Israel, they reached the land safely, and they saw Pharaoh and his followers and his army getting drowned into the Red Sea, and later their bodies, their dead bodies, they started floating on the surface of the water, and broken chariot wheels and even their chariots that they were in which way they were sitting, so thick, bestron, abject and lost lay these, covering the flood, under amazement of their hideous change. So they saw these Bani Israel, they reached these people of Gosh, they reached the land safely. They crossed the Red Sea, but they saw the these Pharaoh and his followers. They could see then the king of the Egypt. They saw him and his followers getting drowned into the Red Sea, and then they could see their bodies floating on the surface of the water. Not only their bodies, their wheels of their chariots, they could see those also. So thick, bestron, abject. So they were scattered. They were scattered and lost lay these. They were covering the flood. They were lying on the surface of water, under amazement of their hideous change. Now hideous is the hateful, something very loathsome. So they were puzzled at this change. So once again, the description of the fallen angels, it is compared to the condition that Pharaoh and his followers they faced when they were following the people of God, the Egyptians. They were following them, they met their terrible death. He called so loud that all the hollow deep of hell surrounded. He called so loud that all the hollow deep of hell resounded. Princes, potentates. Now he started addressing them. We just heard the description of them, that how they were lying on the in that lake of hell. He called them in a very loud voice, and it was since it was a very deep place, it was hollow also, so his all the hell, it resounded. His he could hear back his sound once again. And what he said, princes and potentates. Potentates are the rulers. He called them, O prince, O rulers, warriors, the flower of heaven, once yours, now lost. Now he calls them, he says that, O princes, O rulers, O warriors and soldiers, the flower of heaven. He calls them the flower of heaven. He calls them the offspring of heaven. He says that once yours, the heaven which was yours once, but you have lost it now. If such astonishment as this can seize eternal spirits, or have ye chosen this place after the toil of battle to repose your varied venture, for the ease you find to slumber here as in the vales of heaven. So he has started addressing them. So his first words that he had uttered, what are those? Prince. He calls them prince, he calls them rulers, he calls them soldiers. He says that you are the flowers of heaven, which was once yours, now you have lost it. That he says that if this astonishment, if this surprise of falling from heaven, if it can stop the immortal angels, because the eternal spirits, everlasting spirit, because the mind and the spirit that is going to live forever, he says that if it can, it cannot stop you. He says that, can it stop these spirits, or can it bring an end to these spirits? Or he is asking them, have you chosen this place? He says that after that battle, that was after that exhausting venture, or that battle in which you were, have you chosen this place as your as the place to live forever, to slumber here, for the ease you find to slumber here? That do you find any ease, any easy way out to live in this place, as in the vales of heaven, as if you are living in some valley of heaven? Or in this abject posture have ye sworn to adore the conqueror? Or have you chosen this place to praise the conqueror? Now conqueror, once again he is using these terms to stir up the spirit, to उनको जोड़ने की कोशिश कर रहा है. वो इस कदर सख्त अल्फाज उनके लिए, इतने शेमफुल लफ्ज़ इस्तेमाल कर रहा है कि उनकी जो स्पिरिट्स हैं उनको झंझोड़ सके, बिकॉज दे आर स्टिल लाइंग अनकॉन्शियस इन द लेक ऑफ फायर. He says that, have you taken the vow that you are going to adore, you are going to praise the conqueror here in this stupefied condition, who now beholds cherub and seraph rowling in the flood with scattered arms and ensigns till anon. He says that Anons is the immediately, he says that who now beholds, who is watching the angels, he is watching the higher order of angels rowling in the flood, who are lying here in the pain and misery and suffering of being burnt in the hell, with scattered arms and ensigns, that your banners and your weapons, they are scattered everywhere, till anon, till immediately his swift pursuers from heaven gates discern the advantage, and descending tread us down, thus drooping, or with linked thunderbolts transfix us to the bottom of this gulf. Awake, arise or be forever fallen. Now this again, once again, this last line, it has gained the epigrammatic value, awake, arise or be forever fallen. अगर उठना चाहते हो, be, have the courage, have the strength to get up, or lie, keep on lying there forever. अगर अब नहीं उठना है तो कभी ना उठो, हमेशा इसी कंडीशन में रहो. So this line has also gained the epigrammatic value. So before that he says that his swift pursuers, that from heavenly gates descend, that even the people in heaven, he is talking about the followers of God, he is talking about Adam and Eve. He says that they are taking advantage of the situation, and they are watching you from the gate of the heaven, and descending tread us down, and he has descended us, he has thrown us down, thus drooping, and with linked thunderbolts transfix us. He has fastened down us in this gulf, in this bottom of the in this ditch of the hell. We have been chained together, we have been fastened down. And he says that unchain yourself, awake, this is the time, gather up your spirit, gather up your courage, and arise from this situation, or else you will be fallen forever. You will remain in this condition, in this position forever. They heard and were abased. The fallen angels, when they heard all these, this address of their leader, they were ashamed of it. They were ashamed of their spirit, they were ashamed of their condition. उनको शर्म आ रही थी. Up they sprung, they all rose up upon the wing, as when men want to watch on duty, sleeping found by whom they dread. Now उसने एक बहुत अच्छी सिमिली दी है यहाँ पर कि when Satan tried to address his followers, जब उसने एड्रेस किया है और उनके लिए उसने ऐसे सख्त अल्फाज यूज़ किए हैं कि they felt ashamed of themselves. उन्हें अपने आप से उन्हें शर्म आ रही थी कि उन्होंने क्या किया है. Why were they so unconscious, and why had they lost all their vigor and energy, and they were ashamed of the situation. अब सिमिली उसने इसको किस तरह से कंपैरिजन दिया है कि जिस तरीके से अब कोई भी इंसान जब ड्यूटी पर जाता है और वहां पर जाकर वो सो जाए, और एकदम से कोई बॉस, कोई ऑफिसर, कोई ऐसा बंदा आ जाए जिससे वो डरता है, जिसके सामने वो ये शो नहीं करना चाहता कि वो ड्यूटी पर सो रहा है. Like we see even in dramas, like we see that the policemen in the offices, they often sleep, and when the officer comes in there, they are at once, they make him a salute, and they get up and they do the necessary things. So they were in the same condition. सैटन की स्पीच सुनने के बाद ये जो फॉलन एंजल्स हैं, इन पर उसी तरह का असर हुआ था जैसे कि एक पुलिस वाला जो है वो ऑफिस में जाकर सो रहा और उसके एकदम से जो है उसका बॉस वहां पर आ मौजूद है और वो एकदम से उसको सैल्यूट करने के लिए खड़ा हो जाए. राउज एंड बिस्टर themselves ere well awake, nor did they not perceive the evil plight. So they rose from that position and they stirred themselves as they were awake. It was not the case that they did not have the perception of the misery, of the suffering in which they were. In which they were, or the fierce pains not feel. It was not the case that they could not feel that pain, that misery. Yet to their general's voice they soon obeyed innumerable. Innumerable here, all of them. There were lot of them, and they all, it was not that they were not suffering from that pain and misery of living in the place where they were. It was only, the case was that they obeyed the order of their commander. As when the potent rod of Amram's son in Egypt's evil day waved round the coast, up called a pitchy cloud. So what happened? Amram's son here, it is a reference to Moses. In Egypt, in evil days, he waved around the coast with his stick, and he was able to bring a cloud around, a cloud of locusts. ये ग्रास हूपर की फैमिली से ताल्लुक रखने वाले small insects हैं, warping on the eastern wind, that o'er the realm of impious Pharaoh hung like night and darkened all the land of Nile. So what happened when Moses alayhi salam made a signal with his stick, the huge crowd of locusts, वो जो ग्रास ऊपर की जैसे जो insects हैं, they changed shape on the eastern wind and they covered the land of the river Nile, and it was so dark उनका कलर से, और उन्होंने अपनी पूरी स्ट्रेंथ से, because there were so many of them, कि उन्होंने पूरे रिवर नाइल को कहीं पर भी पानी नजर नहीं आ रहा था. They covered it all and it appeared as if it was night. So numberless were those bad angels seen hovering on wing under the cope of hell. So these locusts, they are compared, the angels of the hell, the fallen angels, they are compared to the locusts. जैसे कि वो ग्रास ऊपर को मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने उस वक्त बुलाया था, हज़रत मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने उस वक्त बुलाया था, फॉलन एंजल्स भी जो थे वो अंडर द रूफ ऑफ हेल के हेल में जो है वो उसी तादाद में मौजूद थे. देवर नंबरलेस, देवर इनफाइनाइट. सो इन ऑर्डर टू tell the number of the fallen angels, Milton uses the simile of the locusts, जो कि innumerable थे, जो कि इस कदर थे कि उन्होंने पूरे दरियाए नील को जो है वो कवर कर लिया था, और वहाँ पर ऐसा महसूस हो रहा था जैसे रात हो गई हो. तो fallen angels की तादाद का यही आलम था कि they were infinite, they were innumerable. Twixt upper, nether and surrounding fires, till as a signal given the uplifted spear of their great sultan waving to direct their course, and even balance down they light on the firm brimstone and fill all the plain. So what they did, they were ready, they were in the upright position now, and they were surrounding fires, and till the time that they were now they were waiting for the signal from their leader, from their commander, who was their who was the person who would direct them, who would ask them to carry out different activities, and he would do that in a balanced way. And even balance down the light on the firm brimstone. Brimstone is sulfur, and fill all the plain. Then they when they rose up, they lighted on the brimstone with this firm sulfur, and they filled the plain of the hell. They filled all the plain of hell. A multitude like which the populous north poured never from her frozen loins to pass rain or the Danube, when her barbarous sons came like a deluge on the south and spread beneath Gibraltar to the Libyan sands. Now once again another simile. These fallen angels, they were numerous, they were infinite, they were numberless, they were in a multitude, बहुत ज़्यादा थे. Like which the populous north, के north में जिस कदर population है, that was poured never from her frozen lines to pass Rhine or the Danube. So the Rhine and Danube, these are the names of the rivers, as if there was a deluge, there was a flood from these rivers, and it would leave the it would spread the soil behind it, and the way it would leave beneath, it would spread all that soil beneath Gibraltar, near the hill of Gibraltar and Libyan sands, and it was equivalent to the from Gibraltar to the Libyan sands. Everywhere there would, because of the flood, this soil would be spread everywhere. So the place from Gibraltar to the Libyan sands, all the way, all that place is filled up with the flood. In the similar way, these fallen angels, they occupied the place in the they occupied the place in hell. Forthwith with every squadron and each band, the heads and leaders thither haste, where stood their great commander. So they started moving to the place. There were different bands and different squadrons, divisions उनकी बनाई गई थी. वो जो squadrons थे या जो bands थे, उसके leaders और उसके heads भी थे. They started moving to the place where their great commander was standing. Who is their great commander? Saturn. Godlike shapes and forms, excelling human. So how did they appear? They were godlike. They were above human beings. वो इंसानों से मुख्तलिफ थे क्योंकि वो angels थे. Because we have been told earlier also that they were angels. So they were godlike. क्योंकि वो gods भी बाज़ औक़ात उनको माना जाता था और इनकी जो appearance भी थी, जो उनका stature था, it was different from human being. They excelled in their stature from human beings, nearly like the God. Princely dignities, and they had the dignity, the honor of the stature of a prince, and powers that erst in heaven sat on thrones, and they had the dignity and that respect and power of sitting that earlier when they were living in heaven they had their thrones. उनकी एक हर किसी की जो भी लीडर या जो हेड्स थे उनकी एक सल्तनत थी और वो उस सल्तनत के तख्त पर बैठते थे. So they had those dignities earlier when they were living in heaven. Though of their names in heavenly records now be no memorial blotted out or raised by their rebellion from the books of life. So what happened now, once they lived there, they had that उनके पास वहाँ पर वो सल्तनत और वो तख्त और वो सब कुछ था. अब उनके रेबेलियन की वजह से वो जो बुक ऑफ लाइफ है या जो हेवन का रिकॉर्ड है उनका नाम उसमें से मिटा दिया गया था, उसमें से इरेज कर दिया गया था. सिंस दे वर रेबल्स, बिकॉज ऑफ देयर रेबेलियन देयर नेम्स हैड बीन स्ट्राइक्ड आउट फ्रॉम द records of heaven and from the books of life. Nor had they yet among the sons of Eve got them new names till wandering o'er the earth. And they did not have their names even among the sons of Eve, and they had new names until they started roaming about on the earth through God's high sufferance for the trial of man. So sufferance is the permission. Trial here refers to the check, the test of man, that through God's permission they were permitted to roam about on the earth, to come to the earth, to test the faith of man by falsities and lies. The greatest part of mankind, they corrupted to forsake God their creator and the invisible glory of him that made them to transform. So what happened, they through the permission of God they came to this earth to test the faith of man. By how? By falsehood, by falsity, by hypocrisy and all these, and through lies. It was the greatest part of them, of mankind. They corrupted, they used these this falseness and lies, they used hypocrisy and lies to corrupt mankind, to forsake, to abandon, to they deceived the mankind through lies to leave God who was their creator and the invisible glory of him, and through this they wanted to take away the glory of God that surrounded mankind, because God's glory is always surrounding mankind. It helps them to do good things. So they deceived mankind. These devils, these evil spirits, the followers of Saturn, the fallen angels, they spread on different all over the earth, and they tried to deceive mankind so that they leave their God, and they made them stay away from the glory of God which surrounded mankind, and to transform off to the image of a brute adorned with gay religions full of pomp and gold. So what happened? they made the beastly images. The mankind they created the beastly images for themselves, and they adorned them. They started worshipping them of gay religions, and in different religions they started following them. They started worshipping these beasts with full pomp and gold, with full pomp and show, and devils to adore for deities. And in this way they were able to replace the devils with the deities. Then were they known to men by various names. So they were known afterwards, they were known to men by various names, and various idols through the heathen world. Heathen is the pagan, the non-Christian world. That in that there were various idols. बुत परस्ती बहुत आम थी, तो बुत परस्ती जो है उन्होंने उसमें मुख्तलिफ जो है वो बुत बना दिए गए थे. एंड the world who was not Christian, the non-Christian world, believed in these idols, and in the non-Christian world they were known by different names. So they had different idols with the different names in this world, and people worshipped them instead of God. So this was one of the way to keep people away from God and to not to receive his grace. Say muse their names then known, who first who last, roused from the slumber on that fiery couch at their great emperor's call. Now once again Milton invokes in the name of the muse. He says that say muse, he is seeking help from the muse to enlighten him, to guide him, to recall the names, their names then known. That he knew that at that time their names, the names of those fallen angels, they were known. Who first, that who was the first one and who was the last one. Now he is going to give an introduction to these fallen angels. And roused from the slumber, slumber was the sleep, that unconscious state, that since these fallen angels, they were ready to obey the order of their leader, so they rose from that unconscious state on that fiery couch. Fiery couch is again the fiery lake of hell. के उस fiery bed से जब वो उठ चुके हैं, तो he is seeking help from the muse to guide him, to inspire him, because those names were known then. So he is invoking in the name of the muse. He is seeking help from the muse to guide him, to tell him that who was the first one and who was the last one, to guide him about the names of these. As next in worth came singly, where he stood on the bare strand. So he was standing there on the shore, while the promiscuous crowd stood yet aloof. That crowd, definitely the crowd of the fallen angels, they were still standing there, and they were waiting for some further orders from the chief. Were those. Now from here onwards we have the description of the fallen angels, what were their names and what they did, and where they were worshipped. The chief were those who from the pit of hell roaming to seek their prey on earth. Now the chief of these fallen angels were the ones who roamed about, who wandered on the earth in the search of prey. Now who was this prey? Mankind, because they wanted to deceive the mankind, as we just discussed in the previous lines, कि वो इंसानियत को गुमराह करना चाहते थे. So वो ज़मीन पर इस तलाश में निकलते कि उनको मुख्तलिफ उनको कोई शिकार नज़र आए. अब उनका शिकार इंसानियत थी. वो हर कोई भी इंसान जिसको वो गुमराह कर सकें. Dust fixed their seats long after next the seat of God, so that they were doing this so that they could confront God, they could deceive his people against God, and in return they could the challenge that they have established, the war that they have started, so that they could have a seat next to the seat of God. तो उसके चैलेंज इसके मुकाबले में आ गए ना, तो बाकी लोग तो अल्लाह ताला के जो हैं वो फॉलोअर्स थे. Now they are going to deceive them. उनको उस जो सही रास्ता है उससे बहकाना चाहते हैं, ताकि वो जो रात और मिजरी उन्होंने सफ़र किया है, मैनकाइंड भी उससे सफ़र करे. Their altars by his altar. So they wanted to replace their altar, since their altar is in hell. So वो उससे अल्लाह ताला के altar को जो है replace करना चाहते थे. Gods adored among the nations round, and dust abides. So he is going to talk about the different gods who who were worshipped all over the world by different nations, and they were followed by different people. Jehovah thundering out of Zion, thrown between the cherubim. Jehovah is the God of Jews who was followed there, and Zion is the name of the hill, and cherubim is the two-winged angelic figure. Jehovah was the person often placed within his sanctuary in their shrines, abominations and with cursed things, his holy rites and solemn feasts profaned and with their darkness dust affront his delight. So what happened? We have the introduction to the first fallen angel, that he was the god of Jews, and we have his description also, that he had two-winged angelic figure, and he sat on the temple of the god on his idolatry, and he cursed the things, he cursed the right things, he cursed the so in this way he was able to deceive, to beguile the people. First, Moloch, horrid king, besmeared with blood. So first of all we have Moloch, and he was the horrid king of who was stained with blood of human sacrifice and parents' tears, though for the noise of drums and timbrels loud, their children's cries unheard that passed through fire. So what happened? So first of all Moloch है जिसके ऊपर के sacrifice किया जाता था, human beings को sacrifice किया जाता था, यहाँ तक के बच्चों को भी sacrifice किया जाता था, माँ बाप को उसके सामने चीर फाड़ दिया जाता था, और सिर्फ ये नहीं कि उसके ऊपर चढ़ावा चढ़ाया जाता था, उसके आसपास इस कदर नॉइज होता था ऑफ ड्रम्स एंड टेम्ब्रल्स का. टेम्ब्रल इज अ म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट, और इस कदर नॉइज होता था कि उसमें वो जब बच्चों को आग से गुजारा जाता था तो कोई आवाज उस तक नहीं पहुंच पाती थी, कोई आवाज नहीं आती थी. To his grim idol, him the Ammonite worshipped in Reba and her watery plain, in Argob and in Bashan, to the stream of utmost Arnon. Nor content with such audacious neighborhood, the wisest heart. So he was the terrible god who was worshipped in Reba and the watery plains of Argob and Bashan, and even till the Arnon. Nor content with such audacious is the daring thing, with the doing these daring things, the wisest heart of Solomon he led by fraud to build his temple right against the temple of God. So through his wisdom he was able to deceive the people, and he was able to set a temple against the temple of God. तो वो जो एक सही जो holy temple था उसके against उसने एक अपना temple भी जो है वो erect कर लिया था on that or opprobrious hill, and made his grove the pleasant valley of Hinnom, Tophet dense and black Gehenna, called the type of hell. So what happened there? That was full of that hell, that was full of reproach, and his groove is the place where a person sits to worship, the pleasant valley of Hinnom. So it was developed in the Revaoth, in the south and west of Jerusalem. So in that he was able to from Jerusalem till Ghana he was able. So it was a type of it was called what? The type of hell. So it was called the type of hell, and it extended from Hinnom to Ghana. Next, Shemos, the obscene dread of Mob's sons, from Eror to Nebo, and the wild of southmost Abarim, in Hesebon and Horonim, Sam's realm, beyond the flowery dale of Sibma, clad with vines, and Elail to the asphaltic pool. So once again we have the extent of the area that it spread on the bank of Iran, on the mountains, on the so it all tells us the mountain ranges and the plains all in different parts, that it extended in all these different parts. For his other name, when he entered Israel in Shittim on their march from Nile, to do him wanton rites which cost them woe, yet thence his lustful orgies he enlarged. So what happened? So his other name was Porus. And they were worshipped by Israel, and the people of Israel, they would start from Nile, and in order to do those rituals, they would move from Nile, and they would reach that place, and it would cost them nothing but sadness and misery and suffering. Yet thence his lustful orgies he enlarged. So he had that licentious ceremonies. He would engage in those licentious ceremonies, even to that hill of scandal by the grove of Moloch, homicide, lust hard by hate. So Moloch was able to victimize the people who were homicides, who were murderers, because he received the human